Hello, fellow questers, and welcome to another edition of Discussions with Devs, your guide on the awesome journey through the indie dev community. I am your host, Ryan Suter, and today I am being joined by Katie McKissick, also known as Beatrice the Biologist, from Los Angeles, California. Katie, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
So, Katie, you worked with some people and you created a new game, and it's called Amoeboid. And
Right.
so, tell us a little bit about your video game industry experience.
I actually have really no video game industry experience. I sort of just wanted to do it as a personal project, and it was really awesome. And I'm just really lucky that I found a really cool programmer and artist to work with. But yeah, I have really no background in this,
Oh,
other
okay.
than just playing a lot of games myself.
Very cool. So, what inspired you to make a game?
Well, it started out actually kind of slightly different than what it ended up as. I have my biology, website, Beatrice the Biologist, and I wanted to make a kid kind of spin-off of Beatrice the Biologist. And I thought it'd be really fun if part of what I had on the website was just a quick kind of arcade style game that was based on biology in some way. So I kind of wrote out what it might be, and I contacted a friend who worked with a lot of programmers, and she got me talking to Nilo Tippler, who I ended up working with. And I, kind of gave him just the general spec of the game, and he gave me, a budget for it, and a couple $1,000s. And I said, well, should I just do this just for fun, or should I maybe try to actually have this be part of my Beatrice the Biologist kind of world, and maybe make a game that I would sell, on the App Store, and maybe because I'm looking for some way to monetize the Beatrice the Biologist stuff I'm doing. So I thought, oh, maybe I should actually make a game that people could buy, not just a little fun thing to play on the website.
Okay,
Mhm.
explain the game to us.
Sure, sure. So you're a little amoeba, and you are on a microscope slide, and kind of helping the amoeba is kind of how I like to think about it. You're leading her around the screen toward food, away from viruses. And then you can also pick up random strands of DNA that are floating by. And if you get 3 on each level, you'll get double points. But my favorite part is that you actually meet other protists. Amoebas are protists. They're unicellular, but they have nuclei. So you meet other protists, like ones that you probably might remember from high school biology, like a paramecium, or a stentor, or a vorticella, or volvox. So you're going around these levels, and you're just kind of picking things up, and meeting little protist friends while you're avoiding these really nasty looking viruses.
Yeah, so when I played the game, I saw that whenever you meet these friends, or whenever you pick them up during the levels, you actually have like a gallery of them that you can go through and learn more about them. So it's actually it's like a learning process too.
Yeah, there's a slight educational component because you actually do see the real names of them. And if you click on their little nameplate there in the gallery, you can see all the ones that you found. You can learn a couple facts about them. I mean, I didn't make it super formal. I mean, they're really kind of random descriptions of them. I call them, a cute little weirdo and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And I just kind of made up stories for them. But I did give some, real information about what they are and what's interesting about them.
And how they move around into
Exactly,
so
yeah.
that.
If they have, cilia or a flagellum, yeah, things like that.
Okay, and people can learn more about these types of things on your website?
Yeah, I do have a post about protists. I probably should do maybe another kind of follow-up post on my blog about more about them.
People
Yeah.
can learn more about the characters. Yeah, that'd be pretty
Mhm.
cool. So take us into the planning process. Where did your game element ideas come from?
Well, I mean, I always kind of had background ideas for games. It kind of designing a game or thinking about how to go about making one kind of reminds me of when I was teaching and I was trying to develop a lesson plan for how to teach something. Because and for this game, I was trying to think of a sciencey game that would have some sort of educational component, something about actual science or a real scientific concept, but still make it into a game. So I was thinking about the parameters and what you'd be trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Um, but yeah, it was just sort of a kind of a natural growth from the Beatrice the Biologist stuff that I do, just trying to make science kind of fun and interesting. And again, I'm so lucky that Nilo Tipler is one I worked with, to program the game, and his friend Chris Tokunaga, who did all the illustrations and animations, because they were so excited about it, and they threw in ideas, and it turned into something. It wouldn't have been the same game if it hadn't been for them, because they got so into it that they wanted to do more and more and more, and so it kind of grew into something that was really great.
Yeah, as people can see here on the screen, I mean, the animations and the characters and everything, I mean, they look really good.
They're amazing. I mean, those guys just, we had this sort of mind meld going on. I mean, they totally, I don't know, it just turned it, and again, like turned into something else, and all this back and forth, and they just totally got what I was going for. And it was really fun, just kind of deciding how everything should look. But Chris is just such an amazing artist, and he just nails things. He just knew exactly how to make all of them look, because I sent him just actual photos of all those protists, and he did some sketching, and he just got all of these little personalities in them, but they still do look like the real protists, which is hard because photos of them don't have a lot of detail. That's not like their colors or anything. They're just sort of, I don't know, they're almost transparent, these little things. So he did this amazing job capturing them. It's amazing.
So Katie, do you have any plans for the future?
I do. I actually have several ideas for other games that are sort of based on sciencey, nerdy, concepts. Again, because I really like the idea about teaching just one or two things, through a game like this. Just like Amoeboid teaches you about some protists, but doesn't, beat you over the head with educational content that actually detracts from the entertainment value. So I do have some more ideas. I'm just hoping that Amoeboid does well enough that I'm financially able to develop them. So I would love to make more games. I have lots more ideas.
The final question here, Katie, as we sign off, I have to ask you, what are you playing right now?
Oh, game-wise? Yeah, definitely, Angry Birds and Draw Something, stuff like that. But I also downloaded this game just yesterday called Extinction Squad. It's the first sort of more adult game I've ever played, because it actually has, it's blood and kind of gory. I usually play just things like Cut the Rope and Doodle Jump and stuff. Yeah, so just kind of doing more market research about what's going on out there. But I love iPhone games. They're just so fun.
Very cool. Viewers like them too. So, Katie, I want to thank you very much for joining us here today. Again, everyone, the game is called Amoeboid, and it can be found on the iPhone and the iPad. Thanks you very much, Katie, for taking the time to talk with us. It's been a real pleasure.
Totally. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.